On the surface, it sounds like a simple headline. Bad Bunny wore a jacket once owned by Pelé during a concert in São Paulo. Cool, interesting, fashion moment, scroll. But that reaction misses the point entirely. Because this wasn't a costume choice. It wasn't vintage for aesthetic. It wasn't archive core or a styling flex meant to trend on TikTok. This was something much heavier and much more intentional. Shh, turn the volume up, but keep it low. This is rap deepest secrets. The one place the labels can't control, exposing the codes, the cover-ups, the real cost of fame. Help us to monetization by subscribing. Now, back to the video. Last week, during his first ever concerts in Brazil, Bad Bunny stepped on stage in São Paulo wearing an original jacket worn by Pelé during the 1966 World Cup. Not a replica, not an inspired by piece, the actual jacket. A relic, a piece of history that normally lives behind glass, protected from light, air, and human touch. And suddenly, it was on stage, under lights, soaked in sweat, in motion again. That alone should make you pause, because Pelé is not just a footballer in Brazil. Pelé is mythology. Pelé is childhood. Pelé is national memory. He's the kind of figure you don't casually reference. You approach him carefully, respectfully, almost spiritually, which is why this moment felt risky, suspicious even. Why would a Puerto Rican artist performing for the first time on Brazilian soil take that kind of cultural risk? And more importantly, why did Brazil let him? Here's where the story gets interesting. The jacket belongs to Cássio Brandão, owner of the Alambrado Football e Cultura store, a space dedicated to preserving football history. Brandão isn't just a collector, he's an archivist. He owns over 7,000 historical football items, including 115 pieces that belonged to Pelé himself. People like that don't lend things out lightly. So when Brandão agreed to let Bad Bunny wear the jacket, it wasn't because of fame. It wasn't for exposure. It was because he believed something real was happening. According to Brandão, the jacket came back wet with sweat, but otherwise untouched, preserved, handled with extreme care, returned in the same suitcase it left in. That detail matters, because sweat means something here. It means the jacket wasn't treated like a prop. It was worn, lived in, activated. History didn't stay frozen. It moved. And then came the lyric change. During his performance of Monaco, Bad Bunny altered a line that originally referenced Messi and Maradona. In São Paulo, he sang instead, scoring a goal after Pelé and Maradona. That wasn't fan service. That was calibration. He adjusted his language to honor where he was standing, literally and culturally. He didn't center the global conversation, he centered Brazil. And that's when this stopped being a concert moment and became a cultural one. This is the moment in the video where the story stops being about fashion and starts being about power. If you're still watching and you're not subscribed yet, this is exactly why this channel exists. We don't chase headlines, we decode them. Hit subscribe now because what comes next explains why this moment quietly rewired how global culture works. Let's address the obvious Gen Z instinct. Okay, but is this just vibes? No, and here's why. Pelé passed away in 2022. For younger generations, his greatness is increasingly something you hear about, not something you witnessed. Legends fade when they stop being experienced. Museums preserve objects, but they don't always preserve relevance. Bad Bunny wearing that jacket pulled Pelé out of the past and dropped him into the present. Brandão himself said that seeing Bad Bunny do this made him imagine kids across Brazil and the world going to YouTube, watching Pelé's goals, learning who he was, not because a teacher assigned it, not because a documentary told them to, but because culture led them there. That's the twist. This wasn't about honoring the past, it was about reintroducing it, and that's a level of cultural responsibility most artists never touch. Here's the part nobody says out loud. When artists cross borders, there's always tension. Latin music has exploded globally, But Brazil has historically stood slightly apart from the Spanish-speaking Latin world. Different language, different musical lineage, different cultural gatekeeping. So when Bad Bunny stepped onto a Brazilian stage wearing Pelé's jacket, it wasn't guaranteed to land. If it felt inauthentic, it would have backfired instantly. But it didn't, because Bad Bunny didn't claim Pelé. He deferred to him. He didn't remix the legacy, he amplified it. And when Pelé's official Instagram account later thanked Bad Bunny, saying that when someone like him honors the king on Brazilian soil, the crown is still shining, that was the seal. That wasn't approval. That was acknowledgement. Here's where I get personal for a second, friend to friend. I've seen people chase relevance by being louder, by being bigger, by being more shocking. This wasn't that. This was restraint. This was listening. This was understanding that when you enter someone else's cultural house, you don't redecorate, you take your shoes off. Bad Bunny didn't grow his influence in Brazil by asserting dominance. He did it by showing reverence. That's rare, and that's why this moment will age well. Years from now, people won't remember the setlist order. They won't remember which song came first, but they'll remember this image. A modern global superstar standing under stadium lights, wearing a jacket that once belonged to the greatest footballer in history. That's how cultural memory works. It latches onto symbols, and Bad Bunny understood that. This wasn't a fashion moment. It wasn't a PR stunt. It wasn't random. It was a reminder that culture moves forward best when it carries its ancestors with it. And if that doesn't change how you see what artists are capable of, beyond streams, charts, and algorithms, I don't know what will. If you want more stories like this, the ones that look small until you realize they're not, subscribe to the channel. We're here for the meaning behind the moments, not just the moments themselves. Because the loudest moves aren't always the most powerful ones. Sometimes it's just a jacket, until it isn't. History feels dusty, but this jacket makes it fresh. Suspenseful as it was, borrowing, wearing, returning, the real twist is the impact. Bunny's concerts weren't just parties, they were history lessons in disguise. Fans left buzzing about Pelé, not just beats. Sarcasm check. Who knew a sweaty jacket could school the masses? Straight up, this story's a reminder celebs can use platforms for good, not just gains. If this twist has you rethinking pop and sports crossovers, smash that subscribe for more. We're unpacking more mysteries, from celeb secrets to forgotten icons. Don't miss out, your algorithm will thank you. Wrapping this up, Bad Bunny's São Paulo stint, jacket and all, blends eras with flair. Suspicious at first, suspenseful throughout, but the twist reveals pure respect. Pelé's crown shines brighter thanks to a trap star's nod. Simple English takeaway. Legends live on through unexpected tributes. And hey, if you're still here, subscribe now. Join the squad for epic stories like this. Over and out.